What's up, YouTube? And welcome back to Kang Bros TV. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 2. What? Go on. Thiago Agandala, bruv. What a baller. Like, we were going back the whole game, but this guy just quickly. Like, it's a family show, innit? Yeah, so I want to keep it PG, but he makes my body do things that, that start tingling feelings, bro. Every time he's passing the ball and that, it's just like, you know what I'm talking about, bro?
It's just his understanding of that of the game, yeah. And the funny thing is, right, there's a lot of fans and a lot of people love to, and I agree to a certain extent, but people are like, if Liverpool don't buy anybody, it's dead out here. It's a problem. There's a problem out here, yeah. And they're gone and got him. My God. It's one of those, you don't expect him to come to Liverpool. I don't know about you personally, but I was like, he could walk in. Someone asked me, who's not a football fan, they said, what's the big hype about this Thiago guy? I said, the fact that this guy could go into any team in the world and start.
If as a Liverpool fan, if you go back in history, as in tell me a world-class player that Liverpool signed who's already a world-class player. I can't think of
I've never been so excited for a signing either. I've never been so excited. And the fact that the geezer turned up Friday, playing Sunday. Do you know what I mean?
And he came on and started, like we always said, he started dictating play. He started telling Verge, he said, Verge, you're here, bruv. You give me the ball. Everywhere you look, he's open, ready for the ball. And some of the stuff that he was doing, man, like the forward passing, like passes that you don't even see yourself. And I'm just so excited to see.
And the other thing is, don't get me wrong, there is going to be a bit of acclimatisation needed. He gave away a penalty, which was a bit clumsy. And yeah, he did misplace a few passes, I get that. But mate, that's his first game for Liverpool. Chelsea, who are going to be mounting a threat. And he just came in and ran the show. It absolutely ran the show today. And that for me is just like, there's not one other signing that I would have wanted for Liverpool to make. If you said, we talked about it ages ago, I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it or anything, but it's like, this guy actually wants to play for Liverpool. And it's like, hold on a minute. But that makes you realise, though, I guess, that Liverpool are level. People, them sort of players want to play for Liverpool and Klopp. So,
before I ask the question, I encourage everyone to hit the subscribe button and support the movement. We appreciate that. So hit the subscribe button for sure. The question is, Henderson came off at half-time. He had a tight thigh, apparently. Now, the question is, what happens now? Everyone has seen Thiago come in, done the thing. What happens now to this midfield? He's going to cement a position in that team, quite clearly. So what happens to this midfield now? I know there's going to be a lot of discussion around this because people feel differently about Henderson, how important he's into this role, and what happens. No, but what happens to this three? And now Fab, we can move into perfectly now to Fabinho going drop into centre back.
Who, by the way, for me was my man of the match today.
Unbelievable.
I thought he was man of the match for me. I know Mane scored and he's unbelievable player. Thiago was different class when he came on. But for me, for someone to go in and play centre back as well as he did, mate, he's
him versus Werner. It was one of them ones. You got a year 8 playing against year 11. It was one of them ones. Seriously, he had him in his back pocket, and we were talking about how Verge and what Werner are going to do. They could quite easily put Verge on that side of the defence. They didn't. They left Fabinho there, and he just dealt with him easily.
The way sometimes when Werner stood him up and he tried to run him, it's just like he's put his arm, move, man. Like literally, what are you doing? It's not. Yeah, I thought he was very good today. He was man of the match. Never really thought that was going to be an option, but that could be the position for him moving forward. I think that's a nice headache to have. You asked a question about Henderson. I thought Naby's growing into the role. I like Naby in there. Thiago for me has to play, but equally, it's nice to sort of kind of say that you've got two plan A's now.
It's the options, man.
Yeah, and I think that is.
Jota's not even involved in it. You got Kazuya, Minamino coming in doing it. So it's just loads of different options. And even we talk about Henderson and how he plays. For me, obviously Thiago is the centre for me. Yeah, right. But Henderson still put the ball through. That ball was amazing.
What was Christensen doing?
That is some NFL Madden shit, bro. You doing the game and that just for fun.
But it's one of it's you'll look back at it and think to yourself, yeah, not covered myself in glory, But at the same time, you got to ask what was going through his head. Maybe does he not rate that keeper that much that he's like, I have to take this guy down,
bro? Both feet are off the ground. He's hanging on matey's back.
Mate, that's madness.
And they're still giving a yellow as well.
That's where you got to look at it as a referee. Be like, come on, mate. What are you doing? But I liked it. He's gone over there, looked at it, and thought, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That's
So
I got.
and that's what I'm saying. Like Henderson, like he did that amazing ball through, and it did change the game and put the game on its head for that, right? But the other question is this: Chelsea, like Lampard saying, "Oh, the first half was going good and all this kind of stuff." Is that you though? Stamford Bridge, first half, 11 men versus 11. Liverpool 70% possession against Chelsea's 30. Is that you? Like,
I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh. I think I look at the positive and say it was a good time to play him. They've got injuries. People aren't up to speed just now. Havertz ain't really bedded in yet. For 75 million, you'd want him to. The keeper's having a meh. So timing wise, it's good because think about Thiago Silva will walk into that side. Yep. For me, Chilwell will play.
You got
Ziyech will play. So they're all starters. So you know, for me, I look at it. And Pulisic, by the way, he's going to be the one. That's
serious players missing there.
So for me, I think it's a good time to play them. So I'm not going to get too caught up in it. Yeah, not going to get caught up on it. Good time to play them. We caught them pretty flat and we beat them and we tucked them. To be fair, they were rubbish today. And I'm not just saying that because it's like, oh yeah, Chelsea. It's true, they were rubbish today. Rubbish.
I have to agree with you.
They were rubbish today.
I have to agree with it was like in cruise control of Liverpool. Yeah. It's just that penalty had come out of nowhere as well. And they didn't deserve anything in that game until then. So
and big man Alisson, no problem.
Yeah.
But Chelsea, like I said, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're looking at Frank Lampard and saying, yeah, I understand we've had injuries and whatnot, but that's one. We've noted that one. Can't be seeing that sort of performance again. Do you know what I mean? They're set up so negative. They were poor. There were 11 men behind the ball when they had 11, and they're thinking, yeah, we'll catch them on the break. Werner's is running around getting dashed about.
I don't want to sound too cocky, but you know that the way Liverpool's team is now, there's so many layers to this team. Like if you get past one, like you said, you got the penalty. You think, okay, we've got to go. Then you got Alisson there, who's levels. You got the defense, and now you got Thiago in that midfield to make it even more. The strikers are ready. So for me, this whole team right now I'm feeling really confident. But like we said, I don't want to go.
The Jota signing, I think, is a brilliant bit of business. Hoover going for 10 million the other way. But obviously he's going to be a good player. There's no two ways about that.
But 10 mil, 9 mil.
10 mil, and you know that if someone's interested, yeah, cool. Like, you know, make it work. But Jota, for me, is a very, very good bit of business. And that is perfect. Now, gives him a bit of time, goes under the radar, acclimatise, and, you know, him, like, you know, them sort of players now off the bench. Jota off the bench, you're like, he's a player. He's a problem. So, good bit of business. Well done for everyone involved. So, yeah, happy.
The thing is, we can't end this video without talking about Sadio Mane. Like, even though we've gone with Fabinho, both of us went for Fabinho for man of the match because we thought he was unbelievable. But Sadio Mane, the guy, he doesn't get enough praise, I think, from the rest of the world. Then, like, don't get me wrong, we're happy that De Bruyne won Player of the Year, deservedly so. But Sadio Mane, people compare him to the likes of Neymar and all this kind of stuff there. Neymar's not doing them things. He's not doing them things. Don't get me wrong, there's aspects to Neymar's game that Mane can't do, granted. But to track his own mistakes and the eagerness and he just keeps going, well, and the movement and everything.
Yeah, he's got. And the other one is, I know it's easy to batter him because he doesn't score enough goals or whatever. But the goals that we scored across all that little bit of brilliance came from Firmino as well. Yeah, so I know fans, I know other fans love saying it. Yeah, but Firmino don't score enough goals. But when he can do stuff like that, it opens it up for everyone to score. And that front three is like teams. No, you can watch all the videos you want when you're analysis. You know what they're going to do, but you can't stop it. And Mane is this. Yeah, he just levels at it. He levels at it. I find it. I don't know. That's something that you said to me before as well about him against Neymar. Yeah, I think he does things that Neymar won't do like that. But Neymar is obviously an exceptional talent. Exceptional how he can beat players and do stuff like that. So I'm not sure, but what I will say is that Mane for me has got to be in the top 5 players in the world at the minute. I can't think of any player, even like someone like Hazard, gone to Madrid. He'd been out partying and eating. So what I mean, so these top players, it's always tough to say like anything negative against those players because you've gone to Real Madrid and it is tough to go to Real Madrid and like hit those levels. But for me, at the moment, Mane is right at the top.
Unbelievable player. So like he deserves a lot of praise. Next game is against Arsenal. Just quickly, I think this is going to be a very good game. Arteta's got his team, working well, and I think for them as well, it's going to be a perfect test to see how they have come, where they are now in comparison to Liverpool as well. I think it's a good contest because we've lost to Arsenal twice. I know the games didn't really mean anything, in terms of anything on the line. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. It'll be a good game. But I think they'll be worried that the signings that we've done as well, the timing wise. But we'll see the game will be a very interesting game for me. So yeah,
On the whole, very, very happy. Great start. I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are on Thiago. A lot of people, I've read some stuff already about a lot of people saying, he's going to struggle in those, when it comes to those bigger games and what intensity of the Premier League and things like that. For me, I'm confident he'll be okay. So I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are on that as well.
Yeah, and definitely the whole dynamic of the midfield. Let's know, and obviously to Chelsea, is that you? Is that what's going to be special? Or too soon to go. So until the next game, of course, don't to share, like, and subscribe, and definitely comment. Peace.